All right, greetings everybody. In this video, I'm going to talk about dressing the edges of your frets so that everything is nice and smooth once you're done. To start off with though, I just want to make a note that when you're fretting or when you're installing the frets, a little trick that I do right off the bat is that when I put the fret wire in, right, and tap it in place, when I cut it, of course, there's other videos that I do that demonstrate how to do that, right? But one thing I do is once it's cut, there's going to be like a little back angle on the fret wire. So when you place that in, you're going to be placing it on the bottom side of where your hand's going to be. Okay, on the bottom side of here, you're going to put the fret that has the back cut on that side. Okay, so that's important while you're fretting it, so that the angle of the little bottom part of the fret wire is angled back away from your hand. Okay, so I do that for every fret on the bottom side where my hand's going to be, all the way up. Okay, so what I do after I install the frets and they're all cut off, you can either just file them down with a regular file, or what I do is I use my grinder here and I grind all the edges so that they're like about a 45-degree angle this way. Okay, all up and down, and I go back and I check with my eyes and I make sure that all of my angles are the same. Okay, and then I get a little bitty file, and in this little file here, the top and the bottom are smooth. Okay, it doesn't matter which is the top or the bottom, they're both the top and the bottom, but I file these guys smooth so that only the teeth are on the flat side, right? Okay, so here's an important little trick. I use glasses because I like to see details here. So here's the trick. Whenever, what you do for one fret, you do for them all. Okay, so if you're going to do a stroke like this, you make sure that stroke is the same for every fret. What I like to do is I'm going to get both sides in the top. So what I do is I'm going to do one side and then I'll do the other side first. So I'm going to do all of the right sides of the top side of the fret, right? So what I'll do is I'll put the smooth side down, and then so that only the teeth are hitting the edge of the fret right there, and then with one motion I'm going to pull back and rotate over the top of the fret, just like this. I'm not going to hardly apply any pressure at all. It's just enough to take that little edge off of the top of where it was filed. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for the next fret. One movement. Same for the next fret. One movement. Again, what I do for one fret, I do for them all. What you don't want to do is sit there and file each one individually and then go to the next one and then go to the next one. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top side. Now the top side I have to push because I have to go up and over. The reason being is because I can't drag it. I guess I could drag it and do it like that. It's just more natural for me to go up and over, right? So I'm going to push the file that way and then come over the top on the top side. And again, my glasses, I can tell because I'm looking right at that little edge, and I can tell when I put a little score on it with this file, and I make sure that each fret looks identical. It's not that big of a deal. You just don't want it to be obvious that one fret is like way filed and the other ones are not. All right, I'm not the best, but I've practiced and kind of got my little routine going. Okay, so now I've already done this side. So now that they're both filed and mini filed, then what I do is I get this really fine grit sandpaper. Okay, This one here is grit 320. You can go with any kind of sandpaper you want, really. I go with the real fine grit because it makes like a smooth edge. And then again, I angle this where I can see the edges of the frets. They're all 45-degree angles, remember that. And I'm just going to file these guys smooth, sand them smooth with this sandpaper. Now that's going to take off some of the wood as well. That's okay. And as I look down, I can see that it creates this little really buffed out, really smooth, really reflective surface. And I just go back with my finger and I can tell exactly how it's going to feel. And I go for smooth. I don't want to have any feel. I don't want to feel that fret at all as I'm playing it up and down. I like it to be just smooth as butter. So I know you can't really see it on the video here, but uniformity is what you're after. What you do for one fret, you do for them all. So I'm going to go and sand all these guys all the way down just like that, so that each fret is identical, smooth and rounded. And I can go back later and touch it up with some lacquer if I need to, or put some other finishing touches on it. But like, to be honest with you, I don't mind if there's a little bit of wood showing there. It's all going to get worn down anyway after you've been playing it for a while. So that's it. I hope you learned something from that. If you do, and you feel like you want to donate, you can donate in the top corner under the donate button. But if not, don't even worry about it. Have fun building your 3-string cigar box guitar and filing those fret edges.